we functional? Certainly looks like we are. Cool. Hi. It's guitar stream day. I do have some very fun. I've called this activity time because I do have other thing I need to do. Yeah, namely, I literally just. It's not super exciting, but I printed out basically a textbook, right, for my job. Oh, also, I was having trouble with voice mod, which I don't use very often, actually, but I have a new version of it running now, so hey, that's a thing. Anyway, to start the stream, I am literally just going to be transferring this binder of paper into this binder, but you can see what this actually is. And then I'm gonna be tabbing everything so that I know where things are without having to go through the whole binder every single time just to find stuff. And yeah. I also went ahead and added I also went ahead and added right here. I'm really far away from my mic. Oh, but you can still hear me fine. Okay, that's good. Added here it's a little guy. It's Newgrounds Radio, because I don't have Spotify Premium and I don't want Spotify ads playing in my live stream. So I've got it turned down a little bit. I think that's readable. Let me actually check. Going over to twitch.tv to check out my own channel. Oh, mute. Okay. Yeah, that is readable, it looks like. So that's good. Yeah. Newgrounds. If you don't know what Newgrounds is, you should just look it up. Honestly, it's newgrounds.com. Anyway, Newgrounds Radio is basically just a bunch of indie artists, and that's gonna be the backing track for this beginning of the stream. Later in the stream, it's gonna move over to actual guitar. So at that point, I will not be having backing music, because guitar. Also, you can see I've got my webcam going. I'm directly in the way. That's the guitar. It's a guitar. I got it for free. Some guy was trying to get rid of it, and he gave it to me for free. Today specifically is gonna. Hi, person. Today specifically is gonna end up being like a review for me, because I did try to pick up guitar in college, but then I didn't commit to the bit. So, but yeah, we're gonna start with the ever exciting task of moving my documents from one binder to a different binder. While I'm just here vibing. I'm gonna be reading chat, at least, so you'll have that going for you. But yeah, we're chilling right now. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to do that? Oh, and pro tip: if you have a binder full of just paper, put something dense at the beginning, at least. At the end, I have one that's going in at the end too, because I just have two pieces of cardboard like this. But yeah, you do want to put something at least in front of, I've found, the paper, because otherwise the first sheet in your binder is just going to be destroyed, and you don't want that. That's a bad thing that will happen. So, and I need a pen as well. This has my name on it. Oops. Nope, not me. Good. You know what? No, I don't need to label where the table of contents is. Excuse me? Something just made noise behind me. I can... Was that... Oh, I'm the one viewer I have. Huh. No, actually, I'm not doing that. Go. I should have printed this out differently. This is fine. Okay. Still says I have a viewer. Okay. Your text is actually pretty big section. Oh, that makes sense. It's kind of a lot that goes into it. Not to say that construction doesn't have a lot that goes into it. But... Oh, wait. first page of structural, I kind of let get messed up in the printer, but it's fine. All of the important stuff is readable. Sucks that happened. Structural is a really short section. Green. Into the binder. Transportation should not be at this short a section. Honestly, there's so much that goes into transportation engineering. It's okay. Iron. I think yeah, that's gonna be all the rest of these. Just water and environment. As we all know, water and the environment are very, very important. Go. And then my other piece of cardboard right on into the back. Awesome. This. So. Sweet. I can put this back in this binder. I know, my life is so exciting. There we go. This, by the way, what I'm putting in this binder is something called engineering paper, which really all it is fancy graph paper. Let me get this put in, and then I'll show the camera. So So you can kind of see on this side, it's got all those lines. That's just for figuring out where things are. But the whole thing is mostly blank. On the back side, it's graph paper. But you can't really see from the front unless there's something behind it. Something specifically light colored. Like another sheet of engineer paper. And it's like that. You can scan it and make copies and whatever. And there won't be lines. It'll all look nice and clean and pretty. There we go. Right. Now, this binder actually has some space to grow. So if I need to add more to it, I can. Okay. All right. So now that that task is done, let me move some stuff around over there. Okay. So let me get rid of that. I'm going to turn on that. There we go. Okay. So you can see it up here in the... I don't need that anymore. You can see it up here in the URL and all that and everywhere. This is a course put up by this guy, Justin Guitar. This is basically about to become a React stream. So, ooh. Okay. So, yeah. If you want to learn guitar, and just like on your own by yourself, go give this guy a look. Right? He's got his own website. He's got a YouTube channel. And yeah. Let me grab my guy here. Guitar. Actually, hold on. Let me grab. Standing it up. Let me grab something I know I have. I might need to rummage for it a bit. But I have an extension for my headphones, which will be very nice to have, actually. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere while I'm gone. I say that, but I'm actually just going over here. I found it. Oh, you can't even hear the lawnmower. That's great. So, you can't hear the lawnmower, but I certainly can. So, this is just a man, okay. It really isn't picking that up. So this is just an auxiliary cord in long. It's far too long, actually, for what I'm needing it for. And it's been coiled up for so long that, quite frankly, it's a mess. But this does mean that I can hear what Mr. Guitar is saying and any alerts that come in from chat. And still be able to actually back up a bit for torso cam to be able to see my whole person and guitar, which this guitar looks huge in the context of the camera, right? Like, I'm pretty sure this is just a standard size guitar, but like, it looks so big. Like, you can't see it at all if I'm standing up, but assuming this is actually a standard guitar, now you also have context for my actual height. So, hey, there's that for you. Not that anybody cares. But, yeah, so, like I was saying before, this is mostly gonna be review for me today, because I'm only gonna do one module. He's got it. I love how he's got this set out, right? Excuse me. So he's got different modules that he's got laid out. I think here. I'm not familiar with his website. I was doing this all on a tablet. But he's got them by level. I'm starting at the beginning, right? This I remember. I'm not going through all of that, especially not on stream. But this one, I am. So.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Are you ready? It's time to learn your first chord, which is going to be a D chord. So let's get that chord diagram up and let's get started. So you want to always put your fingers down in finger order. The first finger is finger number 1. This is going to go in the second fret of the third string. So you can think there's the first fret, there's the second fret, and it's string 1 would be the thinnest, 2 would be the next one up, and the third one up will be the third string. So first finger is going down. Remember that we want to place it right up next to the fret as well. Okay, so first finger in the 1, 2, third string in the 1, 2, second fret. The second finger is going in the same fret on the thinnest string. So you want to put then down your second finger. It's going to, you would leave your first finger down normally, but I'm just using to show you. Remember, you want it, of course, right up next to the fret if you can. That means that your fingers will be at an angle. Of course, you can't keep them square on, otherwise your first finger is going to be back too far. So you can see the fingers are at a bit of an angle there. That's totally fine. So first finger first, second finger down next on the thinner string, and then third finger is going to reach up to play the third fret of the second string, so on the string in between your first and second fingers. Now, I'm making that look pretty easy, but it's very likely the first time you try and do it, your third finger is going to be back here somewhere. You'll find it very difficult to get the third finger right up next to the fret. That's okay. That's just a normal beginner problem, is to try and to work on that flexibility of the fingers and stretch them. So if you're just back here, it's okay, but try and slide that third finger up so it's right up next to the fret. In the first weeks of learning guitar, your fingers are going to hurt. There's no way around it. Pressing your fingers down on the metal is just, it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable.
So, tangent. I work, I want to say it's a white collar job, technically. It's an office job. I do office work mostly. So my fingertips, like you can kind of already see, not really, but I can see, just from pressing in a little bit just now. I've got creases in my fingers. My fingers are very soft. I have no calluses on my fingers. They all exist like here on my hands. Because part of what I do for work is the surveying, but I get to be the rodman, which means I'm the guy walking around. Surveying is, for context, when people, like, surveyors go out to where people want to put things, and they figure out what's there and where it is. That's a topographic survey. And then later, they figure out where things are going to be, and they put like stuff in the ground to mark it, and that's construction staking. Fun fact. But I've done that, and it's left me with some calluses already. Not that I didn't have anything there before, but whatever. Yeah, nothing on the tips of my fingers. That's the point of this digression.
So what you can do to help is not press down until you really need to. Now, particularly when you're learning chords like this, you put your first finger down first, but you don't need to press real hard right away. Just place it down and then get it in the right position, but we're not pressing real hard. We want to leave it there, just rough. I'm not even touching the string down on the metal yet. I'm just kind of putting it in position. Then I'm going to get my third finger down, roughly in position. Then I'm going to get my third finger down and try and get it up there. And only when I'm ready to actually play the chord am I actually going to press my fingers down. Once you've got your fingers in the right position, you need to test all of the notes in your chord and make sure that each note is ringing out clearly. Now for the D chord, we're not going to play the thickest two strings. So the first note that you want to test is the open fourth string. Now you might find it sounds like this, in which case it's going to be the fault of the tip of the first finger is just up a little bit too high and is touching the fourth string, because if it's touching even the smallest amount, the note will be dead. So you need to bring that first finger down just a little bit to make sure that your open fourth string is ringing out clearly. The next note that we'll test will...
By the way, the reason that our guitars sound different is this is an acoustic guitar, and that, I believe, is an electric guitar. I know this is tuned correctly because I checked. You can find like online tuners. I've got this bookmark folder called guitar, and that's one of the two things that's in here. But yeah, I know my guitar is tuned correctly. He's just using a different one. I never actually said what I've got here. It's a Yamaha, the motorcycle company. They make guitars too. Oh, there it is. It says it on the head of the thing. It's a Yamaha, and the inside of it says that it says that it's made in China. It's FD01S. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. I see this and I see a generic acoustic guitar. You can tell it's acoustic because of the way that it is. If it were electric, it'd be skinnier.
Will be the third string. Okay, so we're now having to press down hard with our fingers at this point. If this note sounds like this, it means you're not pressing hard enough, or your finger is too far back. You can hear as I move it forward. Now we've got our nice clear note. If that note is muted, it could also be the tip of the third finger is up a little bit too high and touching that string as well. So you need to really be aware of what fingers are touching where. The third finger doesn't want to be touching that third string or it's going to mute it. So we've got that one sounding good. We've got first finger sounding good. Now the note with the on the second string played with the third finger. Again, very common to get this kind of problem where the third finger is too far back. So try your best to get it forward. There's not really any fingers that might mute that string. So the most common problem on that second string is either not pressing hard enough or the third finger being too far from the fret. Now the hardest note for most beginners is to get this thinner string ringing out. The problem is usually the third finger laying down a little bit too far. So you need to make sure that I'm just bringing my hand forward a little bit. I'm exaggerating it now, but bringing the knuckles of my hand here forward a bit will help get onto the tip of the third finger there.
This is a glasses lens.
Okay, so that's really the key thing to get this note ringing out clearly is the placement of the third finger. If it's too flat, lying down too much like that, it just mutes that thinner string. So you want to make sure that they're all right on the tips of the fingers. I'm just going to press really hard for a second so you can see where the strings are actually touching. If I just hold my fingers up now, you can see where those lines are in my fingers. They're right on the ends. Okay, that's exactly where it'll hurt. And one thing that often concerns beginners when they're learning their chords for the first time is the placement of the thumb. Now, you'll often see me with my thumb around the top of the guitar neck, but that's not what I recommend for beginners. I'd recommend that you keep your thumb right around the back of the guitar. Now, the reason I recommend that for beginners, even though it's not what I do, is it's really important that you build up the strength in this muscle here between your thumb and your first finger. We're going to need that for doing these things called bar chords later on, where we play further up the neck. And if you play like this with your thumb over the top right at the beginning, that muscle won't get worked at all. And when you come to learn your bar chords, you'll find it really, really difficult. It's a lot easier to learn here with the thumb at the back of the neck. It'll help give your fingers a good position as well. Anyway, hello Ziggy. Oh, my dog's finally woken up from her nap and come to join me right in the middle of a lesson. Thanks, Ziggy. Say hello to the people of the internet and then go back to bed, would you? Would you go back to bed for me? Could you go back to bed? Come on, I'll play with you later. Come on, bed. Thank you for the visit. Now go to bed. Bed. Come on. Off you go. There you go. By keeping your thumb around the back of the neck, it keeps all your fingers in a nice position. It'll stop you kind of grabbing the guitar neck too much. Ideally, you don't want the palm of your hand here, where your fingers meet the palm of your hand. Ideally, you don't really want that touching the guitar neck. Definitely not with the first few chords that we're learning. In fact, I know it might look, if I'm playing like this, that my hand is touching, but if I just extend my fingers out, you'll see there's always a little gap here between my first finger and the guitar neck. It doesn't want to be touching there. It wants to, the fingers are there, and that's for all of the chords. Like that one again, it looks like it is, but if I reveal it, there is still a very small gap there between the kind of the knuckle, inside knuckle of my first finger and the guitar neck. It doesn't want to touch. There might be times later on in your journey where you do that, where I use my thumb when I play chords quite often, but that's not the kind of thing that you want to start off learning. So when it comes time to practice your chord, I'm going to give you a little system I call chord perfect practice. It's 4 stages. The first one is finger placement. So we're going to first of all place first finger down, and then second finger down, then third finger down. Still not pressing hard, I'm just getting them in the right position. Now I'm going to press down, I'm going to have a go at strumming the chord. And now I'm going to go through and make adjustments to try and get the chord as perfect as I can. So already I played the 5th string there, I didn't want to really play that, so I'm not going to play the thickest 2 strings, then I'm going to play the 4th string. Okay, that's not really working, so let's get the first finger down there a bit, there we go. Now we got that. That's good. Now first finger. That one's sounding okay. The note on the second string. Okay, that's a bit buzzy. Let's try and get the third finger up a little higher. Okay, we're going good so far. Okay, third finger needs to go more on the point. Okay, we've got it. We've made our adjustments. The chord's sounding good. And then the last part, we just want to do a strum. And we want to tell ourselves, hand, this is how I want you to go when we're playing the D.
Okay. So, yeah. So I get this. Yeah. I'm going to mark this guy as complete. And move on to the A chord. Actually, can I... No, yep. Yeah, that's fine. But whatever. I'll figure that out later. Okay. A chord.
How you doing, Justin? Back with you to learn another chord. This time we're going to check out how to play the A chord. Now, it's worth bearing in mind at this point, if you're new to the whole guitar thing, that you're going to find these chords really difficult the first little while. Okay, the first week or two, it's going to feel really impossible. Like, I can't do it. This is just too hard. I'm not built for playing guitar. Pretty much everyone feels like that, and that's okay. Don't really worry about it. It just takes a little bit of perseverance, making sure you stick with your practice and practicing, hopefully, the right thing. So let's go and have a look at our A chord. So here is our A chord. You can see that we've got 3 fingers all crammed into the same fret. Now, I want to point out that the traditional way of learning A chord is like this. All 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, all in a line. But you can probably already see that first finger there is very, very far away from the fret. So to make that note sound clear, you'd have to press really, 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 really hard. And that will make your finger hurt. So the fingering that I teach, it's got some other advantages as well, but you can see straight away now that these 2 fingers, fingers 2, fingers 3, are right up next to the fret. And first finger sneaks in between them and is in fact a lot closer to the fret than any of the fingers were, or than even the middle finger was in the traditional finger. So I think it's also much better because, like, changing to the D chord, look, first finger can stay in the same place when we're moving to a D chord, and stay on the same string when we move to an E chord.
So this
okay,
is
which is going to be the next chord that we learn. So lots of advantages to learning A chord this way. If you've learned it that way in the past and you're redoing a beginner's guitar course, then it's not a terrible thing to learn it that way. That's how I learned to play an A chord, but I think you're much better off this way. So let's start off fingers 1. First of all, it's going to go in the middle, roughly, of the fret. Okay, maybe slightly toward the 2nd fret there, but it's a 2nd fret 3rd string. So 1, 2, 3rd string, and more or less the same place it was for our D chord, but just back a little bit, half a centimeter or something like that. 2nd finger is then going to reach over the top, and it's going to go down right next to the fret on the 4th string. And 3rd finger is going to reach now underneath, still in the same fret on the 2nd string. Will feel a little bit cramped the first few times you do it. It feels a lot better after
hold my
practice, I can assure
microphone for
you.
this.
Okay, let's take it off, do that one more time. So first finger in the 2nd fret of the 3rd string.
Fine, I guess.
1, 2, 3. Okay, and then slightly not right up at the fret, so just pull it back just a little bit. Then 2nd finger will reach over right up next to the fret, 2nd fret, 4th string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret, 2nd string. Now we're not playing the thicker string for the A chord, so we start by testing out the 5th string.
This is also not
If If that's
Torso
not ringing
cam.
out correctly, it's almost certainly second finger being a little bit too high and muting it. So make sure you're using the tip of the second finger there, and it's not sitting too high and muting the fifth string. Now we go on to the fourth string, which is the note played here by the second finger. If that note's not ringing out clearly, it's almost certainly that you're not pressing hard enough, okay? Because the position reaching over the first finger there, it has to be right up next to the fret. You might find if you've gone too far, it starts to sound a little dead. Not buzzy, but just dead. So here's the good note. Here's it. If you cross over too far, it goes a bit dead. So just behind is what you want that one to be. The note here on the third string,
hurt.
if you're not getting that one, it's probably
that
again
is
just not pressing hard enough with the first finger. So try and really sneak the first finger up there in between the other two fingers, but without pushing the other two fingers past the fret. Okay, it might sound like this. That's not pressing hard enough. Now press still a bit rattly, a little bit harder. There we go. And we've got the good note. Third finger should be right up next to the fret anyway. Because of the position of the fingers, most people will find that that note's probably one that's not going to need too much attention. It should be okay. Although the hardest one is to follow, which is the thinner string. Now, the third finger, all of the fingers are cramped up, and especially if you've got big hands. It's going to take a little bit of fiddling around with the hand position to get this one ringing out nice and true. The most common problem by far with the A chord is the third finger just laying slightly over too far and muting the thinner string. When you're practicing your A chord, of course you go through that same chord perfect program. So you've placed the fingers first finger, second finger, third finger. You're not pressing too hard first of all, remember, just getting them in the right place. And then we do a strum.
So, okay. So, A chord goes 1, 2, 3. Goes 1, 2, 3. Nice. And we move on. Anchor fingers. If I remember correctly, anchor fingers are that thing he was talking about with the index finger. So let me move in a bit. So, hand cam moment time. Okay. So now you can actually see what my hand is doing. I can actually work pretty well with this. Okay, this is officially going to be the new way of doing this. Ignore my other chair over there. Okay. Microphone is behind. Nice. Okay. So, let's see. So what he was doing was for, okay, so finger 1. Okay, so for the D chord, it was like this. One on, you still can't see a single thing that's happening unless no, that's not working out. But what he's talking about with anchor fingers, I remember this, is both the A and D chords have, the way he's teaching it, have your index finger on the third string in the same place, right? It's just right there. No matter what, that string will always stay the same. So what he's going over right now, my hand is out of frame as I'm gesturing. What he's going over right now is saying, hey, if you want to get faster at this, a useful thing to do is keep this finger where it is, and then just go, from 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 3. That was way smoother than I expected that to go. But yeah, your index finger doesn't move. I'm going to mark this as complete because I have done it. Okay. And I am going to be skipping around a little bit because I'm not just going to go through the whole thing. Right. This I know is just his exercise thing. So I am gonna end up going through most of this. But yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today I'm going to talk about your very first strumming pattern, which is simply strumming on the 1. Now, all of the music that we're looking at the early stages of the beginner's course is in 4/4 time. That means it's got 4 beats in the bar. I'm sure you've heard before, or seen at a gig, people go 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the music starts. Maybe you wondered why they count to 4. It's usually because...
Okay. So yeah, 4/4. I was in choir. Fun fact: for all of 1 year in middle school. I did kind of hate it, not because I didn't like being in choir. I thought that I enjoyed being in choir. I would do it again if I could avoid a church choir specifically. I like music. I like singing. I want to be able to sing and play the guitar. That's my goal, right? I would like to play an instrument along with which I can sing, because I like singing, and people I know like my voice. I don't know. That's not a major, uh, not a major reason, but yeah, it has given me enough confidence to want to sing, like covers and whatever on the internet. Years and years ago, my hand is out of frame again. Years and years ago, um, you may remember I did I think Jingle Bells cover, but in Latin, because I also think Latin is really neat. Just occurred to me. This it should be above that. Let me bring you off, you under that. There we go. Now, if anybody types in chat, it'll actually show up. I can lock that too. Okay. But yeah, I want to be able to do. Yeah, I did a cover a long time ago of, I think, Jingle Bells. I know it was in Latin, and I know it was pretty bad because, and this is true, I don't speak Latin. I didn't then, and I don't now. I tried to do Duolingo Latin for a while. That did not end up going anywhere. Now I'm doing Dutch through Duolingo because I am infatuated with the Dutch and their bicycles. But I digress. I'm getting distracted from my distraction. Yeah, but I want to do covers. I think that'd be fun. But in order to do a decent cover, I need a backing track. And while I know I can just like rip an instrumental from the internet and use that. I don't want to. I don't have to. Because I respect musicians enough to not do that. Except Disney. That said, I will never do a Disney cover because I fear the rat. Yeah. That's... I don't even remember. Oh, right. 4-4. Okay. Yeah, 4-4 is like that. It's literally just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are other time signatures, obviously. Like yeah, and the let's see. Format. This is not something I know from choir. This is something I know because I'm a nerd. Not specifically for music, but just in general. But it's formatted like the top number is how many quarter notes make up a bar, and the bottom number, I think, is the number of quarter notes that make a whole note. Which is it's kind of weird, but you get time signatures then like 4-4 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 3-4 is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 5-4, I think is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's a bunch of other stuff, and you can do like jazz. No, swing. Swing is the one. And that's where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's just like jazzy. Anyway, I get distracted easily. This is why I don't get these things done. Okay. God dang it.
Because there's 4 beats in the bar. There are other time signatures
Oh,
where
he's
there's
going
different
over
amounts
it.
of beats in the bar, but 4 time or 4 beats in the bar is the most common. Now, the general idea here is that you want to learn to count along. Eventually, we're going to be tapping our foot along as well. But you want to be, first of all, thinking just about this counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get used to being able to count it. I know it seems silly, but have a go at doing that first. It might feel a little bit odd if you're used to counting to 10. And then what you want to be doing is practicing strumming only on the 1. So get, say, your D chord up, and you're going to strum down on 1 and count the rest. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see that my arm is moving for all of the rest of the beats? That's the ideal. 2, 3, 4. Even though I'm actually not strumming, I'm still keeping my arm moving. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think many beginners are going to be able to strum on one and keep the hand moving for the rest of the time. I couldn't do that really when I was learning my left-handed stuff.
Guess
Too
what?
difficult. But you'll find through the course, I'm trying to give you the ideal option as well, because some people will be ready for it. So you might do it and be like, yeah, I'm cool with this. I can move my hand down as I'm counting along. I'm totally hip with that, in which case I want you to do it. For me, it was a little bit more cumbersome than that. I didn't feel like I could do that, and I was more worried about the chord changes, which is the next thing coming up. You know, just even getting used to just strumming down, going 1, 2, 3, 4, chord change, 1, 2, 3, 4, chord change, 1, 2. That would be amazing if you can get to that point.
My chord
For most
changes
beginners,
are
it's
the
going to
bit
be more
that
like
I struggle with the most, I think.
2, 3, 4. Get the fingers in. 2, 3, 4. And that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay not to be okay at this stuff, especially in your first week or first couple of weeks. It's going to be a real struggle, and that's totally cool. Be cool with that. Okay? Really, really important at this stage that you get used to that idea. The reason that I want to talk about this strumming on one is particularly when you go to play a song, even if it's real slow, at the early stages, we just want to be trying to get that strum on beat 1. Not strumming on beat 2 or beat 4, but trying to count and get used to the idea of strumming on beat 1. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, chord change, 1, 2, 3, 4, chord change, 1. So we're trying to get the chord change in time to be able to strum the 1 again, even if it means starting the change immediately after playing. So going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay?
That was actually pretty smooth.
The key thing. So if you have to leave the chord early, if your chord change is quite slow and you have to leave early to get there, that's okay. The thing you're aiming for is getting that strum on beat 1, particularly when you're playing a song or you're playing along with a backing track kind of thing, using my app, the Beginner Song Course app. You want to be aiming to try and get your strum on 1. In the first week, that's going to be very difficult. Do your best. Try and get that strum on 1. But if you only get to strum every 4 times the chord changes because the chord changes are so slow, that's okay too. Particularly when you start playing songs. There's some other challenges that I'm going to talk about in the following video. But the key thing that I wanted to mention is this counting to 4, just going 1, 2, 3, 4, and putting a strum on the first beat.
Guitar, string. Okay. It's not even my thingy guck. That's the previous owners. Yeah. Disgusting. Yeah, by the way, your fingers, and just like the rest of your skin, super oily. So, at the end of the video, it automatically jumps to the next thing. That's handy. Okay. Oh, there is also, by the way, a premium version of this that you can... I'm not sponsored by this guy or anything like that. I just like what he does. And I do want to learn guitar. So, yeah. Anyway, he's got a premium version. I keep gesturing to things I know full well you cannot see me gesturing at. Like my screen that is, and this is true, behind the camera. On this guy. Anyway, he does have a premium version that I don't subscribe to because I don't like spending money. Yeah. I know it's got some more stuff, but for my purposes, I don't need it. Anyway.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today I want to...
Okay. So I'm gonna. So yeah, I gathered this. This is something I'm actually pretty decent at. I am gonna mark this as complete. Um, yeah, I feel like I've actually mostly pretty much gotten down the actually strumming the right strings a bit. Ooh, that was unfortunate. Oopsies. Let me move my microphone a little further out of the way. But yeah, so it's A chord is the last four strings, and D, no, sorry, D chord is the last four strings. And then A chord is all but the fattest one. So that's fine. Let's minimize finger pain. Because thimbles won't work for this. They'll work for the sewing string. No, actually, they won't. That's a lie. I'm going to be doing a sewing string at some point. That's not a joke. But the thimble will not be included. Excuse me. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Thimble will not be included. Because A, thimbles don't fit my fingers. And B, thimbles do not benefit the way I use a needle on account of my fingers are really bendy. Like, okay, see, what would what would the right warning what would the right warning be for this? I guess I think the closest calm down. I think the closest thing I think the closest thing to a good disclaimer here is body horror. It's not quite that, but if you don't like seeing uh, if you don't like seeing appendages do things they aren't supposed to do, you've been warned. Anyway, so I press a needle from the back with my big point of my finger. I think it's been a while since I've sewn by hand, but uh, no, I don't do that because it hurts. I like pinch the needle and push it through like that. Um, Generally into my own finger on the other side, because that's how I know that it's gone all the way through. And uh, my fingertips are not super sensitive to sharp objects, but whatever. But I can't really push down on the back because if I this is a good place. If I push, like, my finger bends backwards way too much for anything useful to come of that. And like my ring fingers are the worst offenders here, right? But and I have the biggest hitchhiker's thumb I've ever seen. Yeah, full 90 degrees, all natural. Yeah, no thimbles. I keep getting distracted. Finger pain.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today I want to share with you a few tips on how to avoid finger pain because it really does hurt. Those first couple of weeks, I was really shocked when I did the left-handed guitar lesson stuff before filming this beginner course. It really hurt, like much more than I remember. I was a little kid when I learned guitar. I don't remember my fingers hurting at all. And I've mentioned that, it's going to hurt, but man, it really
Yeah,
hurts. So I want to give you as
yeah,
many tips
it
as I
does.
can on how to
Not
avoid having a problem with finger pain. And for a lot of
not
people,
that
it's one of the
bad,
reasons why they give
but
up, because
it's
their fingers are
not
hurting too much and they're
great.
not enjoying it. So that's completely avoidable if you'll follow my advice. So the first thing is only press your fingers down when you need to. When you're doing like anchor finger changes or chord perfect stuff, you shouldn't be pressing down with your fingers real hard. You should get your fingers in the right position, but don't press hard unless you're actually making a sound with the chord, when you're playing the chord itself. The rest of
Right,
the time, you're just working on manipulating your fingers and getting them into the right spots. Along with that goes point two, which is going to be making sure your fingers are positioned well. That positive finger placement thing I talked about, where you get your fingers right next to the fret. That's really important. The
yeah.
better placed your fingers are, the less pressure you
This
have to
is the
put on them
fret.
to get a good note,
These
and therefore
guys.
the less your fingers are going to hurt. So learning to place your fingers really well should be an important part of your mission in these early stages. Now, I also would recommend that you practice a little often and don't go too hard at it. I'm forever reading stories of people going like, well, I really want to learn guitar, so I practice for an hour a day. It's like, you're learning guitar the first few weeks, you don't practice an hour a day. Your fingers will hurt, like real bad. And then you won't want to play
See that
anymore.
timer?
So my
It's an
prescribed
hour.
amount of practice would be 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week. So for example, having a lesson, doing your lesson one with me on a Sunday or a weekend or whatever, and then practicing on Monday and Tuesday, having Wednesday off, practice Thursday and Friday, have the weekend off, and do the same thing for a second week if you need it. Okay, that kind of thing. It's if you want to practice every day. When I was doing my lefty practice, I quite often practiced 5 days in a row or 6 days in a row and then moved on to the next lesson. But I'm super aware of where I can press, where I shouldn't press, getting my fingers in the placement in exactly the right place. So I kind of feel like maybe it was a bit easier for me than it would be for most people. And I suspect for most people, it'll be a couple of weeks, if not 3 or 4 weeks for each lesson. Okay, so try and space out your practice. If you do want to go real hard at it and do lots of practice, try doing like a morning session or an evening session. Don't go and do double the amount of everything, for example, because you really can hurt your fingers to the point where you won't be able to play for a few days. Okay, it's really, really a big deal here is not overdoing this whole thing. So on the practice routine, you're going to have a 10-minute session where you're playing songs. Now, 10 minutes continually pressing your fingers down is going to hurt. I would recommend that you break that up a little bit if the fingers start to get really sore. So if you're halfway through the first song and you're like, no, I just can't do it, just pause. Don't battle your way through it. There's got to be a certain amount of just dealing with the pain and getting over it and just kind of like, yeah, okay, I know it's going to hurt. I'm not going to damage my fingers. It's just painful. But at the same time, you want this guitar journey to be fun. So if you're doing your 10-minute guitar song practice and it gets a few minutes in and you need a break, just hit pause. Have a break, rub your
I'm
fingers.
sorry.
Rubbing your fingers on your leg will help. Just trying to massage them a little bit. You'll end up with the big lines in the end of your fingers. That's okay. It actually never goes away. Your skin gets a bit tougher and it doesn't hurt, but you still get the lines in your fingers. But just
Hmm.
like rubbing them against your thumb or, doing this, or even on the guitar body, doing anything just to give them a little bit of a soft massage and then continue on the next round of practice for your songs. It's really, really important that you don't hurt
That's
yourself
it.
here or make playing guitar an unpleasant thing. I want you to love playing guitar and really enjoy the journey. And finger pain is one of those things that can really screw that up.
So, all right. Songs. A. Chords in the song need to be selected for the song shows. So A and D. So these are the songs he's got here that have the A and D chord. I see. Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay. So, yeah. So I am going to move on from module 1. Uh, yeah, 'cause, yeah. This is talking about his app. Uh, this is talking about the stuff. Um, okay. Then if I go back to here, I start today's practice. Okay. Okay. So I am going to, excuse me, I am going to go through this daily practice and then I'm going to call it for today. 20 minutes. So this will end up being an hour, 40-minute stream. That's fine. Okay. So, up. There we go. Okay. So, D chord. D chord is the first one, which is this guy. Okay. Oh.
So it's D chord perfect practice. You got.
Yeah. No. Nice. Okay. And do again. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Hey, my face. Okay. Now you can actually see me doing this. Let's do. Yeah. Ow. Ow. My fingers start bleeding. I'm gonna stop immediately, by the way. So don't worry too much about that. Yeah, no, okay, sure. Okay, next item. Scored perfect A. And A is going to be 1, 2, 3. Getting string 1 and string 3. Okay, let's do this. So, 2, 1, 2, 3. I have to press so hard on these strings. My goodness, man. Okay. One further up. Pause that for a minute. Hurts. It's not wrong. It does hurt. Okay, continuing. So 1, 2, 3. This is already like an endurance test. Okay. Okay. Especially my index finger. I'm noticing. Maybe I'm just not massaging it aggressively enough to make it hurt less. Okay. Let's go. You Try and get one more of this. Nice. Oh. Anchor finger. Okay. Work on fluid movement with your anchor finger while maintaining contact with the string. Muting all the string with your strumming hand will help stop string ringing out when not wanted. Okay, so this one is gonna be just hot swap. You, 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 you.
Okay, 2 minutes of anchor finger practice starting now. Remember, we're not actually strumming the chords here, not even playing anything, so you might want to just keep the strings muted there with your strumming hand.
Yeah, okay. So, just gonna 1, 2, 3, that, yeah, 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 yeah. D, that's A, B, that's A, B, A, D, 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 A, way too high. D, A, D, A, D, A. And you can kind of see, right, how my index finger, while it is visually shifting, the tip of my finger is not moving significantly. Okay. Yay! Okay. Nice work. Okay. 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 So A to D. This one is gonna have some strumming. So go in A to D. Okay. 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 You know, one of the neat things about guitar guitar specifically is I don't honestly think there's a way to play guitar in a way that sounds actually bad. Like, obviously, you can play it poorly. Right. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. It's probably like 7. That seems reasonable. I'm gonna call it 5. Okay. But yeah, like, unless, yeah, you can obviously play guitar poorly, right? Like I'm doing right now. um, but I'm new, so it's fine. But yeah, guitar, like, literally nothing holding on. I stand corrected. That sounded pretty bad. I think I knocked one of my guys out of tune. Let me see. Let's turn on the tuner. So let's see. This guy got out of tune. And A2. There we go. And D3. And oh, it's neat. It's measuring my voice a little bit. Okay. So next is G3. Next is B3. And then E4. Okay, much better. Now it should be E2. Nice. And now that it's in tune, it sounds good again. Obviously not great, but it definitely does prove my point. Anyway, now that digression is taken care of, not that it actually matters for the sake of practicing, but it's nice to have a guitar that's in tune. Okay, so this time I'm actually going to count. But this time it's going from, I'm counting going from D back to A. 11 right at the bell. Nice. Interesting. Oh, it just doesn't. Oh, that's great. Okay. Okay. Let's do the video. This will be 10 minutes. I forgot what I was doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. The guy with the lawnmower came by. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, what am I doing? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, That was really loud. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My finger was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Lawnmower's back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3. Okay. There's one more song. Oh, jeez. Finger even in the right spot. Keep brushing the mic. I'm so sorry. Well, that was rough, to put it lightly. Okay. Yeah. Finished for today. My fingies. Okay. So that's all I wanted to do today. This stream ended up being significantly later than I expected because I was at an event. I'm not going to say much more than that because I don't want to tell you where I am. Excuse me. I don't want to dox myself because that would be bad. I know that I have a very small following, but that is not information I want to make available on the internet to people I don't know. So, yeah. I can hear my neighbor outside. I'm in an apartment, by the way, which is kind of why I'm trying not to be too loud, because I do have somebody living up there. Like, not God, but up in the room above mine, or the apartment above mine, rather. And, yeah, I don't want them to be all like, why is that kid making so much noise all of a sudden? But yeah. I'm gonna. I'll put up a schedule for myself. I think I'll do like Tuesday, Thursday, and yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do Tuesday, Thursday. Let me actually, while I'm thinking about it, my fingers hurt so bad. Okay. Let's go. Dashboard. I don't think there's anything in here. No, there's nothing in here that'll be bad. Okay. So I'm just gonna call it guitar. I'm make it a 2-hour, no, make it 1.5. No, I'll just call it a 2-hour stream every Tuesday. No, Tuesday. Can I not just do that? Man. Okay. So I'm gonna have to do God. Twitch. Come on, man. Okay. Man. Okay, how do I... Oh, my camera is gone. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Oh, cool, we're back. Love to see it. Okay. So, I don't know why my camera just did that all of a sudden. Hold on, since I'm actually focusing on this, let's bring you... Oh. Oh, right, because I've got the other camera activated and this one deactivated. God, I'm suffering. Okay. Okay. What do I want? Okay, studio mode. Let's do this. Let's deactivate you. And then over here, I can activate you. Hey, that worked. Okay. Sweet. So, what was I doing? I was figuring out. Okay. Is it going to be under Stream Manager? This isn't going to. Okay. No, that's fine. Will you tell me who my viewer is? No? That's fine too. Okay. A channel? Schedule. Here we go. Okay. Sure. Guitar on Thursdays for 2 hours at 6 p.m. I can't make it. Okay. Aha. Okay. And Saturdays. Okay. Guitar. And you are both incorrect. Okay, cool. So I want Tuesday at 6. I Twitch. My guy. There we go. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay. And that will be my actual practice. Except actually, this isn't going to be a full 2-hour stream. It's probably I'm going to make it Twitch. Why do you do this to me? Okay. All right. That's still wrong. You should be every Thursday. And now? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, guitar. Okay. Tuesday, Thursday, I'm just gonna do some like just the practice, and then Saturdays I'm gonna progress. Is my plan. Yeah. And then I'll... Okay, I can't schedule just a single stream. Can I do this on YouTube as well? Ignore that. Nope. Okay. I know for sure that there's nothing here that'll get me in trouble. Okay. Go live. I interact with YouTube Live very little. Okay, yeah. Ooh, awesome. I can't. Create new. Okay. YouTube. That's nice. Oh, okay. Guitar. Yeah, I would say that's the most accurate. No, it's not for kids. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so I can't. Okay, I can't do that on YouTube, but I can on Twitch. So, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Okay. So, yeah, let's jump back up to here. I'm gonna close that. Okay. Hold on. New scuff. Right. I right. Okay. So I need to deactivate you, then activate you. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of today's stream. Thanks for tuning in, I guess. And the current plan is I will be back streaming again on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or Daylight Time? Pacific Time. That is the only piece of information I will give about my location. I am on the Pacific Coast. More than I used to